This video is brought to you by Harry's Razors. Razors that you're able to purchase and that are good. 2017's It is a runaway success, a smash hit, more than doubling the 60 million opening weekend that it was originally expected to receive. But who cares? I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about deleted scenes, alternate castings, and all the super weird stuff that was left out from the books. Also, beware there's going to be spoilers for the movie, the book, and some minor things that might be fleshed out more in the sequel. Alright, let's go. There's no time to delay, not even for a second. Time is money. To all of us. My time is valuable, no doubt yours is also, and I'm sure you've seen the title and you just want to get on with it. And I don't blame you. Let's not postpone this anymore, so let's buckle in. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it's been mentioned by the movie's producers that nothing super dramatic was shot and then removed from this project. Just little edits that are more expositional and transitional. A lot of the trimming of the fat was actually done in the script writing phase, as they were conscious that you only get child actors for a limited time during the day. However, the script went through a number of iterations, going back as far as 2009, when it was reported David Kajanik was adapting King's novel as a single feature film. This was when the idea was first floated to have the time setting shifted to the 80s, as opposed to in the original story and miniseries that opens in the 50s. Cary Fukunaga was brought on board in 2012 to direct, and it was during this time that the project moved to New Line, and it was decided that the film should be split into 2 parts. Will Poulter was cast as Pennywise, and Ty Simpkins of Iron Man 3 and Jurassic World fame was considered for the role of Bill Denbrough. Fukunaga dropped out as director in 2015, citing he was unable to make the unconventional horror film that he had in mind. The Duffer Brothers from Stranger Things put their hands up to direct, but they were overlooked because they weren't considered established enough. Stranger Things is heavily influenced by It, but it's also clear that It is influenced by Stranger Things. It's one of those, you know, the snake eats its own 80s horror movie adaptation situations. So Andy Machete, you know what, there's a lot of names in this I don't know how to pronounce. I apologize, but it's so hot where I am, it's real hot. Anyway, he was brought on board to direct around the same time as Will Poulter dropped out of the lead role due to a scheduling conflict. This new version would also lean away from having Pennywise transforming into a mummy or a werewolf or a Frankenstein. Yeah, I said Frankenstein, not Frankenstein's monster. What are you gonna do about it? That was so even if a person was familiar with the book, they'd still be surprised. Also, it was thought that kids from the 80s wouldn't necessarily be scared of the monsters from the 50s, and they had to find something that would truly frighten them, to delve into their deepest fears. I don't know what that means exactly. I mean, what are kids from the 80s, what were they afraid of? Max headroom, accidentally time traveling and making out with their mothers, having flat, unfeathered hair, who knows? Then in 2016, the casting began to fall into place, and Bill Skarsgård was brought on board as Pennywise. Of all the scenes that weren't included from the original script, the only one that was cut due to its horrific nature was one where a kid had his back broken and then he was wedged into a toilet. Still, a lot of elements from earlier scripts remained, with some of the other omissions being the more controversial ideas, such as Henry Bowers having sex with a sheep and doing something really unsavory to a birthday cake. The other changes included making the entire thing closer to the novel, such as putting in the leper and also Bill's stutter. Also, names were changed so that they were more in line with the book. For example, Bill was going to be Will and Henry was going to be Travis, but that was all fixed up. The apocalyptic rock fight was also reverted back to being a rock fight as opposed to being fireworks, which is what they originally planned on doing. Other things removed that came from the 2014 draft were the combination of the characters Stan Uris and Richie Tozier, and Beverly being hit on by her dad's friends. It was also mentioned that the only reason Pennywise let Al Marsh live was so he could make his daughter's life miserable, so that in turn he could feed off her fears. There was also going to be a flashback to the 1700s that featured a naked Pennywise having a conversation with a pilgrim woman. He was probably, oh, hey, get a load of this. And she was all, no thank you. One scene the director would have liked to have included, but couldn't due to budgetary restraints, was the smoke hole scene. In the book, this is where the Losers Club sit in an enclosed area filled with smoke in order to hallucinate and find out the origins of Pennywise and how to kill it. It's in this moment the two of them travel through time, back to Derry, millions of years in the past, and witness its arrival from the sky. Hey, I'm doing an ad. I need money, so, this is it. Okay, so my face requires maintenance. Otherwise, it's just a real mess. And Harry shavers are a top quality brand at an extremely affordable price, considering what you get and when you compare them to store-bought brands that I find don't nearly last as long. You can actually get a free trial set that's $13 of value when you sign up and you cover the small cost of shipping. This set includes a weighted ergonomic razor handle, 5 precision engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, a rich lathering shave gel, and a travel blade cover. And you can get all this by visiting harrys.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. It's all there. That's harrys.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. It helps me out by supporting this channel. It helps your face out. It's win-win. Not that I'm saying your face needs help. I'm sure you're very handsome, but every guy needs to shave. Why am I explaining this? You get it. Go to the link if you want. If you've ever read the novelization of It, then you're well aware that there is some super weird shit happening that would absolutely kill this film. Namely, that everyone in the Losers Club has sex with Beverly in a sewer in order to escape after defeating Pennywise. It happens because it's got something to do with karma and sacrifice. I don't really remember. But look, it's a real uncomfortable read. Patrick Hockstetter in the novel also is a total sociopath with a number of his story elements removed, including a homosexual act with Henry Bowers, murdering his baby brother through suffocation, and placing live animals in a broken refrigerator, which he'd then return to every few days in order to observe their worsening condition. In the book, he's also done in a very different way. Flying leeches attack him, draining all his blood, and even the contents of one eye. Beverly also doesn't kill her father, like in the book. She goes back to visit him as an adult, and is told by It, who's disguised as an old woman, that he died a few years prior. It's not entirely clear what happened to him, but he's most likely dead because his house is in a state of disrepair. Mike Hanlon has his own confrontation with It in the book, in the form of a giant bird, and his parents are also very much alive. There's also a lot of racial tension between Mike's father and Henry's father, with Mike's father threatening to shoot Henry's father if he doesn't stop being such a massive prick. Eddie Kaspbrak's hypochondria is more or less the same, with one significant difference being that he finds out his asthma medication is fake from the pharmacist, who feels he should know the truth about his condition. Bill Denbrough's story remains mostly intact. However, in the movie, it's not entirely clear to him what happened to his brother's body, whereas in the book, it's very clear from the corpse that they find that is missing an arm. The moment with the projector, that's an addition to the movie, but in the book, we get a similar sequence, but with a photograph album. It's also revealed in the book that It is a giant demonic spider that was though removed for budgetary reasons. Also, he's not technically a spider, and it's not technically a he, but the children perceive it as a spider because it's the closest thing they can comprehend due to its enormous and unfathomable shape. Also, Bill and It have a psychic battle that extends into another dimension where he also meets a cosmic turtle who created the universe. Look, I'm not going to elaborate on that. It's real weird. If you want to know more, just read the book, or the Wikipedia, whatever. We've also got some alternate casting choices for It. Hugo Weaving was considered, but it was thought that, yeah, he could do creepy, but not funny. Okay, that's fair enough. Tim Curry was also offered a chance to reprise the role when it was in early development, but he declined, and Ben Mendelsohn turned it down after salary disputes. Others rumoured to be up for the role were Johnny Depp, Tilda Swinton, Richard Armitage, Tom Hiddleston, Jackie Earle Haley, Jim Carrey, Willem Dafoe, Paul Giamatti, Doug Jones, and Channing Tatum for unspecified reasons. That can't be true, surely. In the early stages of the project, Chloe Grace Moretz was considered for Beverly, but she was deemed too old by the time things got moving. Okay, so just quickly on the casting of part 2. The younger actors were asked who'd they want to play the older versions of themselves. And this is what we got. Bill Hader as Richie Tozier, Jessica Chastain as Beverly Marsh, Chadwick Boseman as Mike Hanlon, Jake Gyllenhaal as Eddie Kaspbrak, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Stanley Uris, Chris Pratt as Ben Hanscom, and good old Chrissy Bale as Bill Denbrough. The only concrete information we have on any of this is that we know that Jessica Chastain has been spoken to about coming on board. Fans of the 1990 miniseries also suggested that they should bring back the original kids now that it's 27 years later. I mean, some of them could work, but also, not all of them are alive. Also, I don't recognize most of these people, and they're probably shit actors now. Alright, that'll do it. Now, if you want to win next week's Loot Crate, you can do so by leaving any comment below. Maybe something or someone that was removed from the project that you would have liked to have seen make the cut. Also, if you're this person, well, congratulations, you won the Loot Crate from last week. Just private message me these details, and it's all yours. Also, every Tuesday we do a show here called Caravan of Garbage, where we play something good or not very good from the past. A few weeks ago, we actually did one for It, and last week was something Star Trek related that I very much hated. Here's a clip.
Oh no! Oh no! It's a bridge simulator. Oh no! The worst. Ooh.
Very good.
Okay, we're there. All right.
Now we beam to the surface. That doesn't look
No, that doesn't
like anything.
Is that your biggest problem with this game so far?
Well, it's one of two. My other problem is that everything else is fucking terrible. Oh, look at Worf. He's looking good, isn't he?
No, he looks like a burnt raisin. Oh, there's Picard. He's looking very youthful and eggy.
Yep, good.
Riker's fallen into a bag of flour.
Also, every Monday on my podcast, The Weekly Planet, we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That's linked below, along with everything else. But thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. Take care.